All right, so day 4 is calculating the LSRL, least square line. Okay, regression line. So, real quickly, least square regression line. I don't know what's wrong now. Never mind. All right, so regardless, if you look here, you see a scatter plot. All right, here's a scatter plot for all this data. Now, we are going to use our calculator to get this information. I'm going to show you how to get the calculator to show you a general scatter plot like that, and how to put that line in there. Okay, so you get a general idea of where the line of regression is. Now remember, all the dots, the residuals are the vertical lines that drop down and up to that line. So the residuals are all those lines. The distance from each dot vertically up or down to the line of regression, the regression line, the best fit line, however you want to call it. When we talk about squaring all those numbers, we have these squares here. Now what the calculator does, the calculator crunches all these squares, add together, and calculates what will give us the smallest sum of the squares. Okay? And that's what we end up trying to get. Alright? So this gives our information, that tells us where the line is going to be. Alright? So that's what we're going to learn how to do with the calculator. So, right now, you need to take our calculators out and go into stat. So, hit stat, everyone. Go into edit. Now remember, to clear out a list, go up, hit clear, come back down. Do that for L1 and L2. Okay, so again, remember, you go up, you hit clear, not delete. If you hit delete, it goes bye-bye. Okay, so don't do that. So we're going to enter these numbers in. Okay, so that was what happened. We're going to put 3, 3.5 here. 3, 3.5, 3.1. 4, 3.7, and 3.1. This is what you're going to be doing for your homework. Is this easy? Yeah. Some of you are a little bit longer, but that's all you do. Now you arrow over to L2, and you're going to put in 19, 27, 22, 31, 26, and 19. Now double check your data before you do anything. Make sure those match up, because it's very easy to fumble and do the wrong thing. They hit 3.6 instead of 3.7 and so forth. Okay? So, now that you have everything in, we did this before, everybody hit stat, go to calculate, and we're going to hit number 8. Now this should already be set up for you, L1, L2. If it's not, let's say this says L3 right there where it's flashing. Let's say it says L3. Okay? It's very simple. You just go second L1 and it changes to L1. If you wanted L2, look, it's very simple where the blue letters are. So L1's above 1, L2's above 2, L5's above 5. It's kind of common sense. Now, remember, you hit enter, enter. We're leaving frequency blank. Now remember, for this one, for store, we're going to hit alpha trace. And just hit enter. And what that's doing is it's storing the regression line. Okay. So, hit enter, enter. Now, if you have this, so when we stored your calculator, so remember, this is where we got to go to second catalog and go down to make sure diagnostics are on. You should have everything you need, but that's what it looks like if you don't have it on.
According to dummies.com.
Okay, well, that's really nice.
2. Use the arrow keys.
Okay, shut up, phone.
Nice to know the phones are always listening. Okay, so diagnostics on. There we go. So we go to stat, calculate, 8, and there's the numbers we need. All right, so there's the numbers you're going to need. You have it on your calculator right there in front of you. So, first off, some vocabulary. Okay? Y equals A plus BX is the forward line. A represents the y-intercept, which in this case was negative 15.1.
So that's 15.1. Okay? B is our slope, which we found out to be 11.5. R squared is our coefficient of determination. We'll get to that in the next lesson. But it was 0.91. And then our correlation coefficient, the strength of the line, 0.96. Whoops. So in other words, is that a pretty strong correlation? Yes, it is. If we did a scatter plot, most of the dots would be close to the line. Okay, so y-intercept. What was the y-intercept? Well, y-intercept is always 0 and negative 15.1. Now, sometimes y-intercepts won't make sense. Okay? Because remember, think about what x and y are in this problem. Let's go up and look. GPA is our x, ACT is our y. So what this is saying is x and y. First off, it's pretty hard to get a 0 GPA, although some people might try. That means you have to get an F in everything. So right there, not too likely. Is it possible to get a negative ACT score? No, it's not. So again, this is theoretical. It doesn't always come out making sense. So how do we interpret? If the GPA is 0, we expect you to get a negative 15.1 on ACT. That's how we interpret it. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. You're probably not going to have a 0 GPA, and you're definitely not going to get, no matter how badly you do, a negative score on the ACT. Okay? Now, we talked about this before. The slope is 11.5. But we always put that over 1. So this is our ACT, and this is our GPA. So, how do we determine that? What is it saying? For every point you get in GPA, we expect or predict your ACT score to go up 11.5 points. Okay? So for every point you get on your GPA, you're expecting your ACT to go up 11.5. That makes a little bit more sense than the y-intercept one. All right. Now, it says add another thing. So here's how you do that. Go back to your calculator. Here's a little trick. Stat. Turn off first. Stat. Edit. Okay. Come over to L1.
And here's a little trick for it. Just go up twice, and you'll be at the bottom of the list. Okay? So we're adding a GPA of 3. Go over to the right, and we're adding an ACT score of 28. And just saying, what is the new equation? So, very simply, sorry about that, I didn't do that. Stat, calculate 8. Everything's the same, just hit enter. And there's my new information.
So, okay, so our new line, look what happens to it. Y hat equals, our new y-intercept is negative 3.4, and our new slope is 8.4. That's right off your calculator. So that's the new regression line equation. Now, look what happened. Our original y-intercept was negative 15.1. Our new one is negative 3.4. Did it go up or down? Careful. You're right, it went up. Okay? It went from negative 15 to negative 3. That's going up. The slope originally was 11.5, now it's 8.4. What did it do? It went down. Okay? Okay, next one. You got your calculator? Go back into stat, edit, clear out both lists, L1, L2. And then enter this data into your calculator. I'll hit pause. Okay, so write these steps down and follow along on your calculator. You're going to hit second, y equals. It's going to look like this. You're going to hit enter. Now, you see how it's flashing on? Right now, it's off. So you want to hit enter so that the black box is on. You want plots on. You're going to go down to this very first graph. Just down arrow and you're there. That's the scatter plot. Okay? You're going to make sure these both say L1, L2. If they don't, I showed you how to change them. You hit second 1, second 2. And all you're going to hit now is zoom 9. And boom, you've got a scatter plot. And now all you're going to do is roughly trace that. Not going to be specific with numbers, just kind of trace what's on your calculator. Kind of looks like this. And just roughly sketch what you have in your calculator to look like that.
Now, for number 2, it says calculate the least square regression line. So, we take our calculator. We hit second, no, I keep hitting that, I don't know why. Stat, my bad, calc 8. Make sure it has L1, L2, but make sure down here you put alpha, trace, Y1. Because we want that line. And then calculate. And there's your important information right there.
So our regression line is y hat equals 24.3 plus 0.21x.
Now, watch this little trick. Since we just told it to memorize that line, watch what happens now when we just hit zoom 9. Okay, so you already had the line because you already had that memorized in there, but there's your line. Okay? So it kind of looks like it connects from this dot. Whoops, well, you know what's going to happen here. Something like that. Okay, we're almost there. Let's go. So, it says, let's add one more roller coaster. Let's add one more roller coaster. So, go back to your calculator. Go back to stat, edit. Remember the little trick? go up twice, and you'll be at the bottom of the list. So we're adding a new height of 297, and we're adding a new speed of 45. Stat, calc, 8. Enter, enter, enter. Don't forget to hit alpha y equals here. I mean alpha trace. And there we go. Yeah.
So when we run that, we get a new line. Y hat equals 33.3 plus 0.13x.
Now, if you pull out your calculator one more time and hit zoom 9, look what happened to the line. It's getting pulled down because over here, this dot right here, that's our new slow coaster we just added. So it's pulling the whole line down towards that new dot.
So what happened to our slope? It went down. And what happened to our y-intercept? It went up, it increased.